the term that I like to use for the right view of history is providential history. As we look at history, we really should think of providence, God orchestrating, God involved. Let me give you a definition. It's a little bit long and sounds sophisticated, but really it's just saying God is in charge. So here's the definition of providential history. The superintending, loving, caring hand of God. The superintending, loving, caring hand of God, directing each individual, each nation, each creature, and each event in history. Can we think of a time where God directed and used an individual? Moses. Okay, go back to your Sunday school lessons. How about a nation? Go back to your Sunday school lessons.
He used the United States to give Israel their recognition worldwide.
Okay, going to modern times, America was instrumental in helping Israel establish their independence and recognition. Okay.
He used Babylon for the Babylonian captivity.
Okay, yeah, Babylon to punish Israel. We talk about the southern half. You can talk about Assyria being used to punish the northern half. Okay. What about a creature? To me, there's at least a couple of times in the Bible where God used a creature that stick out.
God used them to talk to the prophet was, or when God used a donkey.
Oh, the donkey. Okay, yeah, to yell at the prophet, "Hey, idiot, what are you doing?" Or a small little fish swallowing Jonah, or the ravens coming to feed Elijah. All right, creature, and then each event in history. Okay, 2 comments about this definition, and then we'll stop. First comment is this puts God in charge. God is in charge of history. I mean, it's when we study history, we're studying. It's a record of what God has done. All right. Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, as the rivers of water. He turneth it whithersoever he will. All right. God is in control of the heart of the king. And then one over in Acts. There's lots of verses along this line we could look at. Acts 17, verse 26. And hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on the face of the earth, and hath determined the times before appointed, and the bounds of their habitation. So God's made us all of one blood. So me and Valerie and Miles. Any other ethnicities in here? Where God's saying we're all the same. Oh yeah, we're all the same. A little bit different skin color, but that's no big difference. And then more to the point here, He determined the times that they'd be around and the bounds of their habitation. Okay, so God in control. All right, we see that in our definition, and the Bible supports that idea. God is in control. Sometimes we might look at something in history and say, "Wow, what was God doing? How could He allow that to happen?" There's things that I look at, I don't know. All right, we are like little children compared to God, and we can't see or even understand everything, and that's sometimes where we just have to have some faith. If you ever driven with a little kid, or you might remember sometime as a little kid saying something like, "Are we lost, Dad? Do you know where you're going?" Right, Olivia likes to do that. Are you sure we're going to the right store, Daddy? If we go to a different way, right? No, it's just because she's a stupid little kid and she doesn't know where we're going. And sometimes we can look at history and respond that same way. But God is still in charge, even if we don't understand exactly. So, second point I'd like to make is that Christ is the focal point of history. We mentioned that in our timeline. Christ is the focal point. Before that point, the world was being prepared. The Bible in Galatians talks about when the fullness of time was come, when everything was ready, Christ came. And after that point, we see God orchestrating the gospel being spread, preparing for the end times at some point in the future. Christ, though, being that hinge in really all areas. We can think about it spiritually and the difference between the Old Testament covenant and the New Testament covenant, but just in all of the world, that one event is the hinge.